Maybe it's just me, but your sound is coming in muddled to me.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe there was something else. Maybe it's just
How's
me.
now?
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
I had
And
a
it's like doing readings for people
okay.
that talk with their ear on their shoulder. That kind of sound.
Oh, um, it's funny because I was using a windscreen, so I wouldn't have all that wind, from P's and B's.
Oh, well,
And it usually
maybe,
works, but I guess this one's a little too dense, maybe.
yeah. Well, it sounds good to me now. I just,
Okay, but as long as you can hear me now, that's great. Yeah.
yeah. So, today I thought that we would discuss some of the ethical psychic reading rules that are important for professional readers and for
Uh-huh.
clients to know uh, what is the sign that you are getting a real reading, or not a real reading, but a ethical reading. Because
Mhm.
so many people I talk to, it seems as if they find that they are with readers that either want to tell them all good things and never tell them anything bad, but that's
Yeah.
really not what ethical reading is all about. It's about the truth as a reader sees it, right?
Right.
And, so what are some of the things that you know for yourself that are part of the simple things that you know for sure about ethical reading?
I just read the cards as I see them, and I hope that if I basically if I see something negative in a reading, it's usually mentioned. The cards usually reflect it in a way where they say you need more work in this area, and if you work on this problem, like if I draw a negative card for somebody, something that tells me that they have some bad habits and that's why they're having the problems. I'm just going to come right out and say, because I'm also shown all the wonderful positives that will be a direct result of a change in that behavior. You know what I mean? So I just come out and tell them, I say, the cards say that all these things are possible if you but you need to work on these things. The cards see it as something that could sink your future or have it go in a way you don't like if you continue on, if it gets worse. I mean, I will just come out and say it. I think it just seems to be the only way to do the reading, than to just give them a negative reading. But it's not a lie. Um, the cards are, that's how they came out. They
Right.
show you the flip sides, and you can see the flip side and you can see the other side when you do a card reading. And if you happen to notice that the person is on a road that is leading to more of the negative parts, then there's a way of letting them know that just by simply telling them you need to work on these things. The cards say that you do. I mean, I'm not saying that, but the cards apparently that have come back to us from the random toss apparently think that you need to work on these problems, and apparently these cards seem to think, or not seem to think, but seem to be telling us that if you do this, things will be great.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's
but
really
that's the
covering your ass, isn't it?
well, but that's the way it is. I mean, I'm not making anything up. I am reading the
No,
cards. They
no.
are.
You're
You know.
because I believe that one of the things that every client needs to know when they go to a psychic, that psychic cannot tell them what to do and should not cold call them and tell them you have to come because somebody from the other side is trying to connect with you,
Oh,
or
has somebody done
you
that?
have an important question from a loved one. Call us quick. These are things that are scams,
Oh yeah,
scams,
yeah.
scams.
I don't do that. I
No,
wouldn't
no,
do
no.
that
Yeah,
because
no, I
it
wouldn't.
happens to me. I get mail like that all the time. I get
I
mail, I get all sorts of stuff that because I'm on a list somehow, and even though some places say we don't sell your email, that's not really true. They do, so. I get all sorts of things. It's always the same thing. And it's the same technique that even all these other social sites will use. Say reunion sites and other sites, they say someone's trying to reach you. It's something that you've just left, like say a while back. And they try to get you back by saying, "Oh my gosh, everyone's looking for you. You have like 13, checks, and all sorts of things." And it's the same thing, only just saying there's somebody on the side who's trying to reach you. Well, why would they be talking to someone I don't even know?
the other thing,
Never
the
met.
other thing is that every client needs to know that they have free will. So
Right,
that means that no psychic can tell you what you have to do. They can tell you what they see, like you said, but they cannot tell you what to do. And that being able to tell you, so each reader should be able to tell you in whatever way they do that you always have free will and that the future is changeable according to your wise actions.
right. I always tell people that when I do the random cards, like as I do say, it's all random. I don't choose them. That those cards are the way I see them is, and I think the way most people do who read them is like that will tell you um, that's what your future part is what based upon what the current road you're on now, and of course you could always change it. And
Right.
and since the future hasn't happened yet, and everything that we do, even just talking about the situation that we're foreseeing down the road, even that is creating some changes right there. Because it doesn't exist yet, it hasn't happened. But of course, if we never addressed it, it would be a much more different outcome, I think. Um,
Right.
it's I you see try I think people need to see the future as a free form sculpture. It's because it largely only depends. It hasn't happened yet for one thing, and it's a concept. It's always going to be the present. Okay, really, when you're there. Um, but you can always change the road that you're on. Yeah, and I always say, see your life as an equation. Change a few numbers in that equation. Change one thing in that equation, and the outcome is completely different.
Right.
And
Right.
that's why I like to look at the past and present real quick before I talk about the future, because a lot of times if I feel like I've nailed it with that, then I feel like I'm feeling more accurate if I actually hit on something that is, you know, and that's how I feel as a customer if I'm having a reading done. I always feel, boy, they really nailed that past and present really well. So I always
Right.
feel it
What do you
seems like,
think?
wow, that's
It's
pretty good.
it's it's also important. I'm going to just look at. I'm going to read you this Certified Psychics Ethics Code as of 2002, when the American Psychics Certification Program was going on. Number one, I will not judge you. Number two, I will be truthful but tactful. Number three, I will not sugarcoat the truth to keep you coming back. I will tell the good with the bad. Number four, I will help you form your questions when you are having trouble asking what you feel. Number five, I will admit when I'm over my head and refer you to qualified sources. Number six, I am not a fortune teller. All readings will fit within a 12-month time frame. Number 7, I won't play God and predict death or lifespan. Number 9, I am an intuitive spiritual guide, but will not encourage you to be dependent on me. And number 10, your path with God is your own. And that is the Certified Psychics Ethics Code. So, what?
I agree. I think it's great. I agree. Because you don't want to be dependent upon a psychic. You want to be living your life and making your own decisions. And if you keep calling psychics all the time, and actually I think everything gets really mundane. Your bad day turns out to be the tragedy that lies ahead turns out to be the fact that you burnt the cake you were making, or something like that, because it all becomes very mundane day to day. You keep, it's like reading your horoscope daily all the time, and it's sort of like, well, you got to kind of,
Yeah.
I mean,
well, also, if you look online at the people that seem to have the worst things to say about psychics, they're usually the people that kept calling and calling and calling and became addicted to calling psychics. And what happened is they eventually, instead of blaming themselves, blame the reader for not being straight up with them or leading them astray or whatever. Again, we do not lead anyone anywhere. It is what we see, and that is all.
Well, there's always somebody who's going to call also, and another one who would call often, but it would always be something like they're expecting something different to happen. It isn't so much anything is really awful or anything, but they're looking for a change. And I look at the cards and it's like, well, you haven't done any, you haven't been doing anything. That's why nothing's happening. You're not doing anything. It's
right.
just, if you're looking for somebody, but you're not going to find them just by, say, going to work, going home, watching TV, and going to bed.
Right.
You're just not.
Well,
all you do, and if everything that you do doesn't include other people that have the potential or available, if you don't have the activities that would encourage this sort of thing, that's what I always tell people too. It's just like I will just tell them flat out. I'm seeing that you're not doing anything, but I'm also seeing that there is somebody coming in, but it says you have to get out there and you have to make yourself seen because they won't find you.
Right, they don't come knocking on your door.
Right, exactly.
Well, we have Russ from Ohio. Shall we look at Russ for a while?
Sure.
And see what he has to say about his life, or we can look at what he's going on. And so we'll look at Russ from Ohio. Hi, Russ. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Anne-Marie. Hello, Joseph. Have a wonderful evening here in Ohio.
Oh, good. Is it warm or cold there?
We got about 24 degrees and about an inch or two of snow on the ground.
Wow. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad.
And we had thunderstorms come through yesterday, which was strange.
Thunder snow, is that what they call that? Thunder snow?
Yeah, this was actually thunderstorms.
Wow.
So the actual rain, and then we get snow today. So that's Cleveland.
Wow. Crazy. So,
well, what can we... a little strange. We've been... Well, just looking for just like a general update, just to see how things are moving along. And I know last time I talked to you back then of October, and you were saying my dad was really around and trying to help out. So I'm just seeing if he's got any other updates for me. And
okay.
Huh.
So, Joseph, do you want to go first?
Okay. Well, I do see that in the past. I do see that there is a situation that's brought you up to this point, and it's just something that's still on your mind. It's an influence. It is that there's a fear of failing at something. There's a fear about being ineffective, and you perhaps have worried about how effective you might have been in dealing with some things. And this is just an acknowledgement. Yes, the cards, the cards are telling us that, and it does show that you've been dwelling on some problems. Um, you had some, I'd say maybe you felt kind of like maybe you've lost hope in some areas, but I am seeing that in the present day, you do have Queen of Swords in your reading, and at the present time, and this is somebody who always seems to make everything really nice. This is a person. And this is a woman who is emotionally balanced, and she is somebody that is very wise, that always makes you find humor in the situations. And this is somebody that is a very good presence in your current life. And if she's not there now, she's soon to be coming in. But or she could be anybody that you would know in any kind of relationship. But I do see that she had a lot of conflict and sorrow in her life, but yet she is this amazing person, and she is somebody who is always honest with you, always, and direct with you, and that is something that you will always appreciate. I do see that you have a danger of becoming really bored in the future, and so I would say that this card is telling me that a lot of things are going to be resolved, and that now you should really start looking at what you're going to do next. A lot of things, a lot of the current situations are going to be starting to wrap up. So you have to think about what you're going to do next, because after this, it seems like after you've dealt with everything, you're almost going to have a slump where it's like, with nothing happening, nothing going on, and nothing to deal with, and no fires to put out, you might actually find yourself feeling kind of bored. So you can fix that easy. Just find some. You will have time to be finding some better things to do. So that's my reading for you.
Yeah, that kind of fits too, because I've been at a casino for about a little more than a year and a half, and I am getting kind of bored there. They let me learn a little new things, but I'm not, things I don't know if I necessarily want to learn. And I did have an interview at another place here this morning, and I'm kind of hoping maybe that comes through, because it's slightly closer to home, and it's similar to what I'm doing, but not totally. Totally different industry, so I'm kind of hoping that comes through. And I'm still at that. I'm actually calling for my second job, the gas station I've been at for 2 years as well. So it's been fun.
Russ, I'd like you to say your first name, please.
Russ.
And I'd like you to say your first name again.
Russ.
Okay, Russ, what I'm going to do is look at, and these are Native American life path cards. And what I'm going to do is pick out the card that comes up on you, and I'm going to read a short passage on it. You come up as the eagle.
Oh, wow.
So when I look at what does the eagle mean, and it comes up as, hold on just a second here. It says the eagle comes from the east, the place of the rising sun, of new beginnings. She soars high in the sky and sees the smallest detail with clarity, without losing track of the big picture. Have you become trapped in your daily routine and feel you do not know where to go and what to do next? Have you lost your sense of purpose? Eagle invites you to take a deep breath and spread your wings this year. When was the last time you opened them and flew? Eagle reminds you that your spirit was born to soar to the heavens. So as you contemplate the choices in your year of 2019, ask yourself these things. Do I want to live in a chicken coop, a sheltered from life, counting the regular feedings I get, or do I want to soar like an eagle? If your answer is the latter, then you must accept Eagle's invitation and embrace the courage that will help your choice. It's time to see through the eyes of the eagle, Russ. Let your vision of the whole and of its parts become laser-like. Did you become a better person to heal your heart in 2019? If not, no more excuses, Russ. You do not have enough time, enough money, or enough sleep for these excuses. Yet the time is now to fly to your chosen purpose in 2019. And that's what comes through.
Wow.
Oh, that's quite an interesting passage there.
No, it seems like that Queen of Swords lady that you're going to know, or that you do know, seems like she has some very, very realistic advice. You know, I'm just saying that she just seems to be someone that's really, I don't know, she might have some suggestions that really should be considered. You never know.
Yeah. When I did the other reading, I came up with a woman right away, which
Yeah.
indicated that there was somebody coming this year that would maybe put you into the path of that soaring eagle into a different direction, or
Yeah.
whatever that's about. So whether she's a recruiter or whether she is a person in your life that will be an endearing person,
Yeah.
I guess it just remains to be seen. So let us know. Okay?
She tends to be
Sure will.
unusually direct.
What? What? What?
I missed that.
Oh, I said whether she is a recruiter or whether she is an endearing loved one, it all remains to be seen. So we just need to have him contact us again and let us know how it goes. But just remember, open your wings and try new things this year, Russ. Don't get stuck in the chicken coop.
Sure will.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
All right, so we have in the room Emily, who says, hi, Anne-Marie and Joseph. I am interested in knowing how you see my 2019 year financially. I have been unemployed for a couple of months, so I am curious about what you see for my future in career life path. So what comes up for you on her life path for work or money or whatever?
Well, I do see that she's had a lot of barriers in the past, as expressed by the Two of Swords. It's a woman wearing a blindfold with her arms crossed, and in both hands she has a sword. It seems like you were. This card indicates that for some reason you felt it necessary to close yourself off. And actually, you were kind of in stagnation as a result. I mean, it works. You were able to close things off, close people off, and close yourself off. But now it's time. That's in the past, and I see that going away. So I do see that that is something that you've had to deal with, and it is something that was kind of like that's the shell you're coming out of, or you are aware of this in your past. It's still an influence today. That's why it shows up, even if it's a long time ago. I do see that at the current time, there's a man, and I do see somebody much older. It's a kind of relationship that's like father and child. It's very paternal. This person might be very fatherly, or he might be your father. And this is somebody that somebody who's a real leader, somebody who is actually somebody that you should probably be paying attention to, because they seem to have it down with the willpower and self-control, and this person is going to actually make your projects and everything else that you were trying to do fall into place properly. this could be a boss that you're going to have. And I'm seeing here the number 4. So I'm thinking this could be the card's way of telling us that in April, there's a good possibility that you're going to have a job offer from a really great boss, and that you're going to get this job and you're going to do really well. So if you are looking and if those resumes are out there, keep it up, because one of them is going to snag, and this person is going to be interested in what you're doing. I do see that you'd be getting a position of more responsibility. It's going to have some more responsibility than maybe what you've had recently. So I do see that the new job might not be permanent down the road, but it's an important one, and you should take it if you're looking. But you are being told it's not permanent, so at some point you're going to find yourself without it down the road. It's like temporary. So think about what you're going to give up for that job. If you're giving up something permanent, if you are unemployed now, take it, because it will look good on your resume, and it will also keep you in the game. Okay? But it's a great job. Unfortunately, it won't last, but it might come back again. So, Anne-Marie, what do you think?
I would say I'm exactly in agreement with you, Joseph, because January is seen the month of tight days. You know, it's going to be difficult to keep things affordable for you. But then, interestingly, I show in February there seems to be some money coming your way, or perhaps a very small job that won't last, but enough to maybe give you a little bit of income, whether it's volunteer work or whatever. It seems to be something that lets you have a little cash under the table. March, I'm also shown tight days. Now, April, as just like Joseph said, I have a dream come true job. And it says in May, you're doing well financially. Now, I have not looked beyond that, but I'm going to agree with Joseph that April is your day or your month for getting a great job. So that's what I see. Be very, very, very careful. Don't be spending more than you can afford until April.
Save your money, even when you find that great job. Save.
Right.
Yeah, because it might be temporary. So, like I said, it'll be a great job. Do your best, and they might be able to extend it, but it's not the kind of job.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we have Renee in the room, and hello, Renee, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both of you too.
Thank you. What's going on today?
Okay. Well, I want to possibly. I had a lot of knowledge, and I haven't been using it for years. And what would help me with my health, because I met somebody over the phone. Joseph and you might have been talking about him, an intellectual, and he told me some things that could help me, but I don't have the finances to get to him, and I feel he could really help me get well in a lot of ways, plus me also. What do you see for this month or this year, because I want to get better, and I don't want to be like this anymore, because I should be able to take care of myself, and if I don't do something, it'll go the other way.
Okay.
And he told me about some things. That's one thing that bothers me, and he said I should take it. It's good. And I could have to take it for a long time, and it could cost a lot of money. And the things that I know how is that going to work? Because I want to change things, and I don't like the way it's going. And this year is supposed to be my year to forge forward and do everything that I want to do with my health and work and everything else.
Well, for the I drew the Ace of Pentacles as an indicator here that you are beginning. This indicates that a beginning of self-improvement, beauty, money, material possessions. I'm seeing an overall shown by the Ace of Pentacles. This is the very seeds, very beginnings. I am seeing that there is a help from friends and family and supportive, and also the advice of the person, the young man. I see all this here in the recent past. So this is telling me that this is something that's been planted, and this is going to. It looks to me that the cards are saying that you seem to be on that road. It does show a temptation to lose your temper, and also to be you just have to really watch the moods, and because I'm just saying that it's a tough time, and I know it's really rough. You got to watch the temper, and also there seems to be a female who is kind of thoughtless, and she seems rather selfish. And if you thought she was, she probably is, but she doesn't seem like an evil person. She's just simply not all that sympathetic to you. The cards acknowledge her presence, but they do say probably watch out for getting into it with her. Just don't let her get to you. Don't let this person upset you. Now that you know that they're there, don't let them
Is
upset
that
your
my
temper.
girlfriend, my younger girlfriend? She's a
It's
lot
somebody who
younger than I
could
am.
really get under your skin, and the cards are just telling you, don't let this person bug you too.
Yeah,
Don't.
because everything's going really well for her, and she's thinking I'm not doing what she told me and others told me, and I can't, I want to certain things, but I can't get there
Yeah.
the way everybody wants me
She
to.
doesn't quite
And
understand.
I need their help, and they offered it before, and I didn't take it, and now I wish I had, because now it's
Yeah.
not offered anymore.
Oh, I see. And so now she's rubbing it in your face. Do you think that's what that
It
is?
said that it could be over because
Well, you know, it doesn't help.
I'm not moving forward, and it's not that I want to stay like this. I wasn't thinking very clearly for a long time,
Right. But I do
and
see
I
that.
didn't
Oh,
realize it.
I do see that by March, and we have here the number 3 noted in the 3 of Pentacles coming your way, and I do see that this is a good time. I do see your money situation becoming a little easier, and I do see that what the things that you're doing now, and I do see um, the methods and whatever it is that you're working on, and the road that you're on, I do see it leading you to this good time of an improved lifestyle, and in the very near future. I'd say by March you're going to start noticing that things have improved. If you compare them back to January and December, you will notice that things have improved by that time. So that is something to look forward to. And when people just say things just to get under your skin without really offering any solution, so you have to kind of filter that out. It's like, well, that doesn't really
Well,
help me.
they did offer solutions, but I didn't take them, and now I realize I should have, because they're
Well,
the same solutions I want now.
those were the things that you had decided upon, I suppose, and she probably got mad about your choices, no doubt. I do see things, whatever you decide to do in this current situation, I do see that you will make the right decision that will lead you to a better situation by March.
Renee, I'm going to do your life path reading, okay? Because Joseph did that reading. All
Oh,
right?
okay. Let's see what
Okay,
Henry's got to
So
say.
say your first name.
Renee.
So negative sounding, girlfriend. Okay, and say it again.
Yeah, Renee.
Thank you. And then say it one more time.
Renee?
Thank you. So the card that comes out representative of your life path, it says, is the drum. The drum. And if I look at what is it that the drum represents for your life path, it says the rhythm of the drum tunes you into the beating heart of the universe. Its wood frame links you to the trees and helps your journey to the lower world via the roots in being able to balance and stabilize yourself and your world through 2019 so that your branches can reach to the sky. The drum invites you to take the next bold step into your journey of 2019. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. In other words, what that is saying is that sometimes the more we try, the less we get done. But on the other hand, it says, this is not a good time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go in 2019. So allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is essential in your life in 2019. You travel to the beat of a different drum. And so, yes, some of the things that people tell you to do, you do not do. Maybe because it was not your time like it was their time. But now it is. So you're traveling to the beat of a different drum. You're rooting yourself, getting yourself balanced, and now you just go with the current of the river. Okay?
Will that gentleman help me? Because we're in different cities, and if I had the money, I'd go to him right now.
Joseph?
Oh, the man. I do see that this is somebody who could give you good advice, but I can't tell you to go running.
Yeah, that's one of those things that we really can't.
It
sounds like
he knows some things, but he can only do certain things if he sees me in person.
Be very careful of charlatans.
Yeah.
Because it shows that this person is not necessarily someone of love, and that this person is somebody more about money, and that this person knows that you're a spiritual person, and they know that you're stuck. So your reading says be very careful of him.
Yeah. And in fact, he doesn't show up as somebody in your future. He doesn't show up in the reading that I did. As he doesn't stand out. What I do see
is because I spoke to him when you were on vacation.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that really happening. I just don't see you doing it. The cards don't see you doing it because I do see
you can't put all your healing in one man like
I do see something
because
worked out.
The healing will come from you. But it sounds like he's promising you, like the old medicine men on the old covered wagons, the elixir of instant cure. And my feeling is that you're going to do this in your own way, not necessarily by pouring all your money into the promises of one man.
Mm-hmm. Watch out for the gurus.
Yes. Watch out for
just do what he told me about, and I heard somebody else is doing the same thing, and they don't know him, and it's working to help them.
Okay.
And they don't get any money for it.
You have to do what you need to do on this because it sounds like until you've got the money, he's not going to be very attentive to you.
No.
No.
You see, the issue of money always. I don't have a good feeling when I hear about this person, and I'm not really quite sure why it is, but I think it is the same as what Anne Marie's been saying. I just had this aversion to something like that, and it's like a magnetic
If you
opposite.
can pay him, he'll do a good job. If you can't pay him, he doesn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's not, yeah. He doesn't even show up in your reading when I did yours. He's not.
Who is the man you were getting?
Honey, we've got other people and we need to go, but, my feeling is that you just need to watch out for mood swings. You need to watch out for putting all your life investment into one person that promises a cure. Because honestly, if you've been sick this long, this sounds like something that one person could not do. And watch out for elixirs that promise you the world. Because my feeling is if he's, if it's something that you're going to pour your money into, it reminds me of these people that want to go to psychics that say that they can bring back a loved one that has left them. And they pay $10,000 for somebody to be able to reunite them, and it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, be very careful.
You might want to speak to an actual, like,
I'm not trying to crush your hope. I'm just saying, don't put all your hope in this guy.
Potential possibilities. The cards say that you're going to work it out, and you're going to work it out through information that you hear, and it might be bits and pieces from everybody. Sometimes that's the ticket. But these are these are discoveries that you will make on your own, though, and by taking all these bits and pieces. And the only thing I could suggest, and because it doesn't take any knowledge to suggest this, really, is you might want to consider speaking to like a real nutritionist, a bona fide like medical nutritionist who knows what say deficiencies can cause, and maybe perhaps some of your issues might be caused by deficiency, but you'll never know until you have that checked out. So that's one thing. That's one of the things I would check out for myself, because sometimes medications cause deficiencies.
We've got other people we have to get to here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm just trying to straighten something out so I can get there. So it's correct. And thank you both so much.
You're welcome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
All right. I want to, Sandy is in the call room, but I wanted to make sure we go to Sarah, who wants to know if there's a new relationship in 2019 for her. And, anything that you can share. I want to share one thing. Love never comes when you're looking for it. It only hits you like a semi-truck when you least expect it, Sarah. So my feeling is that we can tell you what we see, but the problem with describing somebody in perfect detail that's coming into your life, the problem with that is that if you start looking for someone and it hits that description and they are not right for you, and, then it could actually drag you down instead of help you find love. So, Joseph, go ahead.
Well, boy, you're right when they say it just kind of hits you like a semi-truck or something, because I'm seeing it hit real soon, or probably, boom, it happened on New Year's. I don't know. But I am seeing that this is boom. I do see hitting like lightning striking the tower, and that's what I pulled up, is the tower, which means if you're looking for a relationship, boom, you got one. But it's also telling you that it is going to be, it's the kind of thing that's going to make you question a lot of things that you might have held in your outlook, in your whole persona. You might have certain ideas. This person is someone that's going to make you think about maybe changing all that, because it's going to hit like a lightning bolt. And it's going to be a challenge. I do see this relationship going to be a challenge, but I am seeing it's going to be good. So
I would say the same thing, Joseph,
Yeah,
because I'm
or the,
looking
yeah,
at it and it says uh, that somebody with a good job who seems to transform her life, and
yeah,
that it could happen within 1 month to 7 weeks. I've got cups, which usually represent weeks. Swords usually represent months,
right.
or weeks or months, but I feel that this is going to happen fairly soon for you. But please remember, put your mindset in going with the flow. Don't be looking so desperately that the
Yeah.
sparkle glitter of desperateness is in your eyes, because if somebody sees that, they may tear out their napkin in their lapel and go racing down the street. So try not to let that glitter of expectation happen, Sarah. Instead, allow yourself to just let this happen gracefully. Okay? And that's what we see. Okay, we're going to go with Sandy. Hey, Sandy, how you doing?
Hi, just wanted to call you two up and wish you a happy new year. And,
Thank you.
it sounds like, you guys have an awesome responsibility with all us people calling you up and asking you to give us this information. We all appreciate it. I'm sure it sounds like it's a big responsibility for you two. You have people who are really looking to you for guidance, aren't you?
Well, the problem is that not all information is good. And so, we can sugarcoat everything, but then
I do.
it serves no one, except maybe a temporary high,
Yeah,
but that's not what I do, or Joseph.
I always like the truth. I mean, just like if I do something, if I say how do you like it, I don't want somebody just being a cheerleader. I want their opinion. I really want to know what they think. So when I do the cards, that's the same attitude I have. It's a random shuffle. I mean, I don't choose them, and I try to read them as best I can.
Yeah, but
Can I do Sandy?
With you too.
Sandy,
Okay.
I'm going to do your life path real quick, and then I'll give it over to Joe. Okay?
You guys, just to tell you guys how much I've enjoyed you over the time that I've known you, and I wanted to wish you a happy
Thank you.
New Year. But yeah, you could do it. I already know. Last time I called you guys said such good things. I'm just flying on that. I'm just happy.
Oh, cool.
Okay, well,
and you guys had a lot of hand in that. You had a lot of hand in making me feel so optimistic.
Sandy, say your first name.
Oh, Sandy.
Okay. And then one more time.
Sandy.
Thank you. So, Sandy, when I look at what comes up as your life path, it says, this is the year of completion. And what that means, and I'll look at that, I believe that this is the year that you finally complete plans that, and here's what it says, all things have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And this is the nature of life, the seed, the flower, and the fruit. You have finished a cycle, and there is no more growth or benefit from hanging on to that old cycle. In regard to relationships, it's time to honor what has been and find a new form of happiness with people that may be new and exciting for you. In your ventures, it's time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for a celebration. You are in a new cycle. Clinging to the old form will bring only decay. When fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. So you know that it's time to move on. So do not be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings that may be holding you back. Remember, you are responsible for your actions this year, not the actions of others. So do not be sad. Be like the sun on a midday that shines brightly in 2019. This is the year of a new cycle for you.
And I do see some hard work and dreams being I see some hard work and dreams being fulfilled, careful planning, and I do see great results like in June. as told by the Six of Wands. That's pretty cool. And it does come after, saving for a little bit. I'd say between now and, through the winter, you're being encouraged to see to your needs and build up your reserves, build up a little cushion, just to kind of just get you through things. I do see that there's a little bit of concern over finances right now after the holidays, but that's all going to, I do see that you're going to persevere. And like I said, boom, by June, everything's going to be great, even greater. And this, I'm still seeing this wonderful, influence in your life. And I do see this a very paternal type of a male. Either it's your father or somebody that you know that's very fatherly, or somebody who is very wise. It could be even your husband, your spouse, your boyfriend, or someone you know, co-worker. I do see that this person always plays a really nice part in your life. So that's nice to have. And it's somebody that's an influence. He might even be from a long time ago, for all I know. But it is a continued influence in your life, and that's what really keeps everything so nice. One of those things that are nice about it right now.
Thank you, Sandy. We appreciate it, and we know that you just came to say hi, and we appreciate that.
Yeah,
We read you anyway.
Yeah, we can, whether you want it or
Well,
not.
I have to
It
say
seems all good.
You're right on. I mean, there was a time that I wanted to sell the house and I just couldn't, and I did turn to you, and you said, "If this isn't the time, this is your time to work on the house." And we've been doing it, and I went for it. I said, "Okay, look it's my time."
Yay!
And we've been doing
Wonderful.
it. And all the stress went away. I don't care. All the stress has gone away. And now we're even going to gut out the whole kitchen and redo the kitchen, and that's supposed to be done in the spring. And who knows? It should turn out beautiful. After what Joseph said, it's probably going to turn out beautiful. I mean, you guys have been a very positive influence in my life, and I just want to thank you both very, very much.
You're very welcome, Sandy.
What a nice thing to hear at the start of the year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a great day.
Yeah, thanks.
But bless you both, and thank you for the reading. And again, you guys are great. I love listening to you. You have a really good evening.
Thanks, Sandy. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye. And thank you.
Okay. Brenda from Ohio says, "What do you see from my new spirit path?" And I want to tell you, Brenda, the card that came up was the rainbow. And the rainbow says this is the year that represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. It says when the rainbow appears in your reading, it's an affirmation that all is well in 2019 and that you are in the right relationship with your spirit. The rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near in 2019. What do you have quick on her spirit?
Okay, well, after disappointments in the past, and these are some of the things that you still worry about, I am seeing at the present time, and very soon, or if not very soon, I see the Ace of Cups, which is a great card. Intense friendships, loving family, the beginning, just really great in terms of love and friendship and support. I do see that. Just don't let it go to your head. Okay? Around July, you might find yourself needing to be a little more self-disciplined, and that's really the only problem I see with that. So
sounds good.
To look at that, yeah.
So, Joseph, we've got 1 minute and 29 seconds. Would you like to say the closing prayer for the blessing for the show and for 2019?
For 2019, I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. I bring the cosmic forces into my being, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Everybody
Joseph.
have a great 2019.
Yes, yes.
Psychic Radio, holistic radio, spiritual